Big C and his trusty companions, Jazzy Jeff and Stinky Pete.
Thank you very much, Shaggy, and thank you very much, Jazzy Jeff, and thank you very much, Stinky Pete, for joining me again on Off the Record this week. A day late this week due to the football last night, which is another story which we might come on to, but a win. Yes, he's got his Spurs top on. As you're not watching on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter, which I'll put on shortly, no doubt, then you won't know what I'm talking about. But he's pointing to his pointing to his cock.
To me, cockerel.
He's got a cock on his chest.
Pointing to his cock.
Is what you're saying?
On his chest, yeah.
BBC.
The Spurs cockerel. BBC straight on. It's you. It's your influence.
It's not me. He said cock. I said cockerel. It's him. It's baby brother. He's a bad person.
It is a cock. Hello, Jazzy Jeff as well. Sorry, you've had troubles with your tooth today as well. So
I've been toothed all morning, mate. But there we go. It's these are things that we have to do, aren't they? Because otherwise you end up with severe pain.
Oh, I don't do pain.
I don't do pain.
Is it fair to say that women do pain better than men?
They do. They have a better pain threshold than men. It is also true to say that ginger people have a lower pain threshold, and it is also true to say that people of, I don't know what we call them nowadays, so if I get this wrong, someone forgive me, Indians, Pakistanis, Sri Lankans, that whatever that's called now, Asians, is that what that's called? I don't know, but they also have a lower pain threshold. It's something to do with I think it's something to do with the pigment of the skin or something. I'm not certain about that.
What about bald-headed men as opposed to hirsute ones like
hirsute ones? Well, my pain threshold is 0.
Right, so, yeah. Well, that's higher than mine.
My pain threshold is very high. So
I knew you. I just knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to differ.
Listen, it is. I'm sorry.
It is what it is.
Maybe I'm a very famous comedian.
Suppose, listening to some of the music you listen to, I fully appreciate why
yes,
your pain threshold is quite high.
To quote a very famous comedic band, he wrestles poodles and wins.
I do. Yes. Anyway, it's good.
Poodles and wins. That's gone over my head, that one. What's that from?
It's from Mr. Apollo by the Bonzo Dog Doodah Band.
Oh, my word. Neil Innes and
Viv Stanchel, who was
Viv Stanchel, yeah. He lived in Essex, didn't he? I think he died in Essex. Had a house fired.
Many people
die in Essex.
Very true. He died in a house.
I saw him live. I saw Viv Stanchel and Roger Ruskin Spear at the Lawn Centre in Hull in 1975 or 6. He was very fun.
That's past their. Were they involved in the Ruttles, or was that just Neil Innes?
That was just Neil Innes.
Just Neil Innes.
It was post the Bonzos that I saw them. So it was just Viv Stanchel and Roger Ruskin.
I'm glad you said Viv Stanchel. I remember his name, Neil Innes and Viv Stanchel. They appeared in a Beatles film. Did you know that? The Magical Mystery Tour.
He also appears on Jingle Bells. Did you know that?
I did not know that. You learn every day is a school day on Off the Record.
I tell you, there is nothing that we know about. I mean, that we don't know about.
We talk shit. Episode 223 we are on. So episode 23, series 8. And we have a topic, unlike last week where we just rabbited on, and that went okay, I thought. We've got a topic of albums released in the year 1979 that we took a fancy to or have subsequently taken a fancy to. There's a hell of a lot of them, actually. What happened in 79, other than Thatcher getting the power? I always say that. I had my first ever real job, full-time job, in 1979. It was January the 29th for the Civil Aviation Authority, from which I pay me my pension now.
I spent 4 months of 1979 pretending to revise and to work half of my A-levels, but actually taking my uncle around bits of Essex that he hadn't seen since he skipped boat 40 years before.
And how were the A-levels?
Yes.
Yeah. They were both unmarked.
Unmarked? You mean like they looked at it and thought, no, I'm not marking that?
Yeah, that's exactly what they did.
It was that bad.
They were used.
So they were both returned as illegible items.
Well, to be fair, my A levels weren't great. I did get one in French, but that was a D. But that still qualifies as an A level, doesn't it?
Absolutely, it does.
And
A
I
through
did
E.
get rather helpfully. I took geography, and with Bugs Laveridge,
With Bugs,
God
yeah.
bless
God bless
his
his
soul. Yeah, well, I still don't know why it's called Bugs. And geography I took, and he said I asked him about it, so because I didn't know what to take, and I must have got a suggestion from him when I said I'm going to take it. And he said, well, to be fair, he said, I don't know whether he said to be fair, I've said that. He said, well, look, take it. If you don't pass it, you could get an O level pass, because I only got a D on the O level, which is why I queried doing the A level. And what did I get? I got an O level pass.
Oh, well done, you.
I love it when the
I
plan
did
comes
geography
together.
A level. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Unfortunately, they couldn't read the exam paper, so they didn't mark it.
You like the field trips? I suppose Stinky Pete got about 4 A's and A stars. No, didn't have A stars.
There was no such thing as an A star when I did it. I got a B for geography and a B for British government and C for history.
That was enough to get you into.
But that's all in the past, eh? Hey!
Hey!
Boom!
History is a thing of the past. There might even be a lyric on one of my albums today, actually, for 79.
I think actually I did the same A levels as your elder brother. I think he did British government and history. I think he might not have done geography, or maybe it's the other way around. I can't remember now.
I'm not sure he did geography. I think
we tended to be in the same classes for most things.
British government. Yeah, that sounds like one he might have done.
He definitely did British government.
Politics, that was one. And
that's right. Yeah, well, politics, British
history,
government.
Maybe?
Politics. Yeah,
economics. Economics.
Oh, economics here. He did economics. So he did economics when I did geography. The other two, we did the same.
Yeah. Okay. Economics, I got an O level. I got an A in the O level in the first year of sixth form. And in the second year, totally screwed up the A level. So that's a lot. Either they were a lot more difficult, the A level course for economics, than the O level course, or I just got bored in the second year.
Or you spent the time you should have been revising, driving your uncle from New Zealand around Essex.
That could have been it. Yeah. Or I was listening to music. I remember distinctly listening to Rubber Soul on the headphones when I was doing my revision once. Definitely remember doing that. But that's another story. 79 musically, a hell of a lot of good albums. And I've done a bit of a Stinky Pete here in that albums that I own. And I think, well, should I go for a lot of big variety, which no doubt Stinks is going to impress us with because of his big variety taste that he has.
We've always said he's got a big variety.
He's got a big variety. He's got a huge agenda.
I'm going to punch you in the face when I get
out. It's such a huge agenda tonight to fit into our tight schedules.
All of those teeth that you've just had sorted out will be rearranged for my next appearance in Buckerstill.
Right. Well, okay. So I'm not going for much variety. I got the ones that I really liked, and I bought them. So you could probably guess the route that I've taken.
I am reckoning that there is at least 4 that either 2 of us will have or all 4 of us will have.
I have deliberately avoided 3 which I have mentioned. 2 that I've mentioned very regularly before. There's another couple which I am going to talk about, and then there's a couple which I own, which I'll just mention. So,
well, I don't own that many because it wasn't a good year for me from that perspective, because I was touring for the back part of it, so there was nothing done in August through to December. And I was supposed to be revising for the middle part, so there was not much done then either. So a lot of the stuff I've got, although it's 79, I got subsequently.
Well, that's the same with me.
I got some of them in 79, but not many. But actually, I couldn't find 10 that I owned. So I picked 10 that I own, and that I had owned.
Right.
It will all
that I no longer own.
It'll all become clear.
It will all become mud clear.
Shall I start off with one? I think it probably just to take the piss, I think, actually.
Go on then.
Now, it's a bit of a cheat in that this specific album, it was a debut album that came out in late '79. I didn't actually own the album, but I did get the greatest hits in true Stinks fashion the following year or so, and the vast majority of that were on this album. And well, I say the vast majority, a lot of it was on this album, but the rest of this album that I've grown to love as well. And it's a debut album, 19th of October '79. It came out on Stiff Records. Their first single actually was on Two Tone. We mentioned them on the Scar program. It's got to be One Step Beyond by Madness, debut album. An absolute classic of its genre. Great fun and just sing-along tunes throughout. I mean, there were 4 big singles on there. One Step Beyond as well. My Girl, which is still I'd say like one of my favourite all-time songs. I say that about so many, but I just love My Girl. It's so English and so clever, I think, lyrically. A Night Boat to Cairo's on there as well, and also The Prince, which is a tribute to Prince Buster, the Scar. Now, did we agree Prince Buster was Scar, or was it Rocksteady?
We did, and we did agree that Madness was Scar.
And Madness was Scar, okay. Even though lots of people that like, say, the Specials will say they're Scar, but I can't stand Madness because they are the commercial side of Scar, poppy side.
But the Specials are Rocksteady. We agreed.
Yep, I agree. Okay, and much more serious than Madness ever were. But these are just 14 or so songs I think they're on the album, and all mostly actually written by the band members, which is all good. So even apart from those singles, one track which I got on the Greatest Hits album, which wasn't a single, strangely, was Bed and Breakfast Man, which is another great song on there. They even, I mean, this will probably make Stinky Pete heave. It might even make you heave as well, Jeff. There was a version of Swan Lake on the album with Mike Barson on keyboards, a sort of Scar arrangement, if you like, but it is noticeably Swan Lake. Mummy's Boy, Madness, the sort of self-titled song that they did as well, is on there. And it got to number 2 in the UK chart, even in the US, believe it or not. It got to 128 in the Billboard 200.
128?
128.
That surprises me. They did anything at all in the States, but
no, I agree. I'm surprised by that, and I just added that at the end actually because I thought that would be good for a laugh to kick off with that, just to see whether or not Pete walks out of the room.
No, you're perfectly entitled to your. I asked my business partner Ralph, my brother from another mother, what was the greatest debut album of all time in a conversation many moons ago, and his answer was Madness, and
Step Beyond.
I haven't worked with him since. No, anyway, and the good thing about them doing Swan Lake is that is of course the music that gets played when the Russian head of state dies on TV. So I'm waiting for the appearance of Swan Lake any day now.
Okay, all right.
The little bald genocidal paedophile. But anyway, there we go.
Allegedly, is that an allegedly one or not?
Other opinions are welcome.
Other opinions are welcome. Okay. I mean, you're not going to get paedophiles as head of state, are you? Surely.
Maybe
surely not. Surely not.
Yeah, the BBC won't care about that one. They'll be on your
side.
No,
that's true. They'll be asking for full disclosure.
Come on then. What do you talk about, Willis? Which one's going to go?
Pete. Go on, Jeff, you go.
I'll go. Okay, let's pick the one which I know that you will all know that I will pick. So let's go UK number 18, Certified Silver, debut album. This is Ricky Lee Jones.
Okay.
The standout track obviously is Chuck E's In Love, which is the one that everybody knows. And to be blunt, it's one of the bestest Estes songs ever.
The bestest Estes?
Bestest Estes. It's just superb.
That is good.
The album is just cool. Like it oozes cool, you know. The people
sleeve
on it,
does as well.
The
album sleeve does ooze
album
cool as
sleeve is really cool. Like what's that? What they call Shirots? Is that what they're
well. I
called?
think we've had that discussion before. I don't know what they're called. Yeah.
Shirots. That's
Talk
it.
about the same album.
Yeah. But it's got Dr. John, Steve Gadd, the Volcano Boys, Michael McDonald, Matthew Wilder, Willie Weeks. They're all on it. And it's got some great songs on it. Easy Money is really sultry. I think you played that for me a little while ago. Last Chance Texaco, a little bit more gravelly, and it won her the Best Grammy Rock Voice of the Year for 1979, or the Grammy Best Rock Voice, however that works out as an actual sentence. Toolsville was the second single in the US. Don't think they did a second single over here. Not certain about that. Young Blood is a great song. Danny's All-Star Joint is fabulous. It's just a great album, and it's a great debut album. I've said many, many times that debut albums are often the best albums that are produced, because all of that stuff goes into the, all of that stuff that's been building for the last 18 years of life, or 20 years of life, or whatever it might be, is poured into that album.
Yeah, so the second one's generally a bit pants because they've run out of songs.
Because they've run out of ones, and then they've learned the industry by the time they get to...
Yeah, obviously exceptions, but yeah, I see what you mean. But it's an album that, I mean, I've got it somewhere on iTunes, but it's not one I'm other than Chuck E.'s in Love, like you say, overly familiar with. It's probably one that I would like. But this brings us back to what we were discussing off air before, and continuing on from last week's discussion. It's an album that I wouldn't necessarily go out and listen to, even though I'd probably like it, because I don't know that I like everything, if you see what I mean.
And gone are those days when we used to buy albums on spec to go, will I like this? Probably back in the day we did, and now we don't.
I did that in the noughties, actually. I bought stacks of albums in the noughties. I was driving around lunchtime from me driving instructor days and used to get loads of albums, and I'd never heard of them. And I thought, oh, that looks like it might be all right, or I might have read a review. But, I like James Blunt was one, funnily enough. Back to Bedlam, I got that one. No one ever heard of it.
You might want to keep that to yourself, actually.
Well, no, actually, I could still quite like it. I mean, he was just out the army. He's just out the army when he recorded it.
Yeah.
There are some good songs, and I keep thinking of Gavin and Stacey when I hear Wise Men, when Bryn is singing it in the car.
We saw
James by the Sea.
We saw James Blunt live at Hyde Park years ago now. I can't remember what it was, and he dived off the stage onto the tops of people. I don't know why he did that, but he obviously thought it was cool. And there's a guy behind us going, "Drop him! Drop him!"
Harsh. Stinks. Do you got Ricky Lee Jones in yours?
No, because I don't own the Ricky Lee Jones album. I knew Jeff would choose it when I saw what the list of 79 albums were, and I did what I usually do and go on Wiki and look at all the list of albums and then go through and pick out the ones I own, and then play them all bar one.
I contributed to Wiki today, as you well know.
Yes.
They keep asking me to donate.
You sought my advice, I gave it to you, and you executed.
I bet they still keep reminding me to pay them.
Well, they will do, but the point is that if you've got a free resource, they're not really free, and nobody pays for it. And so, if nobody pays for it, you don't have the resource. And where would we be doing this podcast without Wiki?
If we didn't have Wiki,
yeah, exactly. So, when they ask for money, I always send it anyway. Right. So, I'm going controversial here because this is an album which is universally derided by the artist in question, and having played it through in its entirety again, and having considered where it sits in the pantheon of this person's work, I think it is both misunderstood and misrepresented. So the album concerned is composed, performed and produced and arranged by a smartass, and there's very few of those. The particular smartass in question also happens to be blind. Journey Through the Secret Life of Plants.
Oh, now, shit.
Right. Right.
It's like dancing.
You should be on TV with that expert insight there, Jeff.
Can I now finish what I was saying?
Go on then.
Journey Through the Secret Life of Plants, everybody says is shit. Now, number one, it is the soundtrack to a film. Now, I've got no idea what the film is about other than The Secret Life of Plants. It could be a porn movie. It could be David Attenborough. I've got no idea what the film is. I've never seen it. Don't know anything about it. But the problem with the Journey Through the Secret Life of Plants is that it is to Songs in the Key of Life what Rhythm of the Saints is to Graceland. And the reason that everybody says Rhythm of the Saints is shit is because Graceland was so good. And the reason that people say Journey Through the Secret Life of Plants is shit is because Songs in the Key of Life was so good. And not only were Songs in the Key of Life so good, that followed on from Fulfilling This First Finale and Inner Visions and Talking Book, all of which were classic Stevie Wonder albums. So when people listen to Journey Through the Secret Life of Plants, what they're expecting to hear is a bunch of sing-along Stevie Wonder songs. But that isn't what it is. And when you actually listen to it for what it is, then it's an absolutely superb piece of work. It's a concept piece. It's got some Stevie Wonder songs in, so Send One Your Love and Black Orchid and Come Back as a Flower. They're all very much Stevie Wonder songs. But then the whole of side one, which I'm assuming, because I've never seen the film, is incidental music. You know, Earth's Creation, that's a bit meh, and it's unfortunate that that's the first track on the album. But then the track Voyage to India with the sitar is fantastic. It's a great piece of music. And then you've got this beautiful piece, Race Babbling, on side two, which is just kind of like a really clever piece of music. And then on side four, you've got, you know, The Secret Life of Plants itself. I'm sorry, there's another great track called Ecclesiastes, which I absolutely love. And that's the track off the album, which I remember when I bought it. And I got it because it was Stevie Wonder and because there was this huge, great raft. And I haven't listened to it for 30 years. Because I'd listen to my Stevie Wonder collection and I'd go, I'm not going to bother listening to that because it's a bit shit. And I'd go on to Hotter Than July. But actually, that ain't great either, because that's got some stinkers on as well as some really good classic Stevie Wonder songs. So, but I played Journey Through the Secret Life of Plants twice, back to back, in the last 2 days. And apart from the massive annoyance that it's one of those albums which was a thing in the 70s, where it's side one and side four, and then sides 2 and 3 on the other discs. So you have to take it. That really, really annoys me, and I want to slap whoever decided that was a clever idea. But that notwithstanding, it is a much, much, much better album than its reputation. They are my final words on the matter.
It's strange because I mean, surely there can't be songs on Journey Through the Secret Life of Plants. What is the Secret Life of Plants, by the way? Are they like
Sap.
private detectives or something? Or I mean, I don't know. What
I
do they
know
do?
nothing about the film. I know nothing about the backstory. All I know is it's a double Stevie Wonder album, and he's a genius.
He might be a genius, but I mean, surely to God, there's no Sir Duke on it. There's no Isn't She Lovely on it.
But
There's
that's the
no,
whole. But no,
I don't
no,
know.
there isn't. But that's the whole point.
I wish. I mean,
There's
past time no.
there's no Diamonds on the Soles of Your Shoes on Rhythm of the Saints. But if you'd never heard Graceland and you just heard Rhythm of the Saints as a Paul Simon album, you'd go, yeah, it's a good album. So
it's difficult to say that, isn't it? It's difficult to predict what you would think if the other album hadn't
I do hear what you're saying, Pete. I do.
I understand.
I understand where you're coming from.
I think a lot of it is we damn things by comparison, rather than taking things.
Or maybe we damn them because they're just not as good as we know that person can do.
Oh, and listen, 100%. This album and Hotter Than July, neither of them are as good as the 5 albums that went before. Not close. but that doesn't invalidate the fact that as a 4-side concept piece for a movie, it's all right. And there are some very good songs on it. Ecclesiastes is beautiful.
Okay, that's an instrumental, is it?
Yeah, it's an instrumental, but it's a very, very nice piece of music. And Black Orchid's a beautiful song. So anyway, that's my quote unquote controversial one.
I'm assuming there were no hits on it, no hit
Yeah,
singles.
no, Someone You Love was a hit.
Oh, Someone You Love. Yeah, I know that rings a bell.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's two versions of that. There's an instrumental version, and then there's the words version.
Right. It's gone to me then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I presume I'm going to have to listen to Journey Through the Secret Life of Plants from start to finish.
No, you're
I
not.
don't know that I will, though. I don't know I'll be able to put up with it for like presumably hour and a half or short of it.
No, listen, don't, because you won't. You'll listen to it and you'll go and you won't appreciate it. It's not worth it. It's a waste of time. It's like you saying to me, "Oh, well, Never Mind the Bollocks is a great album, or the Madness album is a great album. You should listen to it." I'm not going to do that because I'm not devaluing it. I'm just saying I'm not going to enjoy it. So why would I do that? So anyway, so no,
Right.
don't listen to it. There's some odd songs on it. Listen to some odd songs. Yeah, they're fine.
I've got an album now that one or other of you might have, and one that you probably would think I would have. It's their fourth album in September '79, and it was the album that kind of broke them in terms of, not broke them as in finished them, but they had their big commercial hit single from this album that broke them in the charts. They subsequently had at least a couple of number one singles after. In fact, I think they had about 4 or 5. Got to number 4 in the UK. Got to number 137 in the Billboard 200. Again, not very American sounding. And it is Setting Suns by the Jam.
By the Jam, yeah.
So I thought you'd probably think I was going to choose that one.
I didn't even log the fact that it was this year.
When I went down the list of 1979 album releases, I thought, yeah, Colin's going to choose that one.
But it was obviously a commercial and critical success.
Yep.
And it followed on nicely from All Mod Cons, which I still think is probably their best album. I think this is my second favourite. I say best, I mean my second favourite or first favourite, whatever. Eton Rifles being the hit single that I was mentioned before. David Cameron's favourite song, which always tickles me. Maybe on this, compared to all Mod Cons, which I love, with Down in the Tube Station at Midnight and David Watts and It's Too Bad and To Be Someone and Mr. Clean, all those songs. This is a much harder, tougher production. It's a fuller sound to the album, but there's still the emphasis on the melody, which is what I always love. I seem to vaguely remember saying this before. I must have done it on maybe I did it on an S albums or something, did I? But it was originally a concept album which Paul Weller was writing about the lives of 3 boyhood friends who later reunite as adults after an unspecified war. But they discover that they've both grown up and apart. In fact, a few of the songs they abandoned that idea. I think they were pressed for time. Songs like Thick as Thieves, Little Boy Soldiers, which I might play tomorrow, Wasteland and Burning Sky sort of fit that theme. Little Boy Soldiers is a song in 3. It's like a suite, really, of 3 different songs, which is almost Kinks-like in sound as well, actually, which Stinks, I would have thought, would love. All of his lyrics, as on all of his albums, were written from a socialist perspective. Hence, David Cameron was a bit of a shock. And Smithers Jones, a great song, an all-strings arrangement of Bruce Foxton's song Smithers Jones, which originally was on the B-side of the Jam single When You're Young, But Rick Buckler, the drummer, decided it would be a good idea. Why don't we do a strings arrangement? And the guy from, I forget his name, guy from Procol Harum supplied the arrangement for the strings on the album. Saturday's Kids is another great song. I mean, I just love his lyrics. I'm going to quote you one here because you know I love quoting lyrics. Saturday's girls work in Tesco's and Woolworths, wear cheap perfume because that's all they can afford. Go to discos, they drink baby shan. Talk to Jan in bingo accents. Saturday kids live in council houses, wear V-neck shirts and baggy trousers. Drive Cortina's fur-trimmed dashboard, stains on the seats, in the back, of course. Setting Suns, The Jam, their fourth album, and that is my second album tonight.
I wasn't listening to the end of that. I was trying to work out what the name of the guy was from Procol Harum. And I still can't
Never
remember.
mind. You can listen back to it.
Yes.
It's not Matthew Fisher or anyone like that. Or I'll tell you what, I'll look it up while you tell us your next one.
Okay. This album did nothing in the UK. It was certified with nothing anywhere in the world, I don't think. It might have been in Canada. Actually, I'm not certain about that. But this album would land in my top 20 albums of all time and might even scrape into my top 10.
Ooh.
Okay.
High praise. High praise.
Huh?
High praise indeed.
High praise indeed. This is Bop Till You Drop by Rekord.
Oh, you'd love a bit of Rekord.
I do love a bit of Rekord.
Yeah.
I do.
I like a bit of Rekord.
The famous song on it is Little Sister, which is a Presley song originally, which he does absolutely brilliantly. But there are some other stuff on it I particularly like Down in Hollywood, which I think is great. Trouble You Can Find Me, Don't Mess Up a Good Thing. There's a couple of them got Shaka Khan singing with him on them.
Shaka Khan.
I was waiting when I said it. I was hoping it was going to go straight back.
You knew this was going to happen.
So, Rekord is a great guitarist. He's also a brilliant producer. But he has this way of production which is kind of really withdrawn. It's almost as if everything is held right back into some sort of hollow sound. And the whole album is like it. The one that you played a little while ago, Johnny Hooker, and one with Rock, and it was the same. There was all slightly held back, and I don't know why he does it, but it works. And he plays this sort of Spanish Latino style guitar, and particularly on Bop Till You Drop, he has these amazing gospel backing sounds on all the songs pretty much, and it's just an immaculate album. And why it didn't do anything over here, I do not know.
Did any of his stuff do well over here? It's one of those, is it?
I've got two of his albums. I can't remember what the other one's called now.
One of his albums must have done. I can't remember. But that would have been earlier 70s. I can't remember what it was called now.
What was it? I can't remember what the other one got called now.
He's a great guitarist.
He's the first time I heard him, oddly, was on a Captain Beefheart album.
I was just going to say, he was in a band, wasn't he, Rekord?
Well, he was in all sorts of bands, but I don't think he was in Beefheart's band per se. But he played on what was the name of the Beefheart album that I've got and that I never played? It's bloody awful. It's his first album.
Safe as Milk, was it?
Safe as Milk.
Yes. Yeah. And Rekord is on it. For reasons that I do not understand. He was obviously getting paid. That would be why, because that's why people do things. But yeah. Anyway, Bop Till You Drop. If you don't know it, I'll choose something of it for tomorrow. Right. If you don't know it, I would recommend listening to it because I think both of you would like most of it.
Yeah. No, I like Rekord. Okay.
What else do you like, Pete?
Well,
the Slide Area is the other one of his that I've got.
Right. Yeah. No.
That's 1982.
I was going to say that's later, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. And I'm going for one of my live albums, For me,
I know one of them. I know which
You
one's
know-
one of them going to be.
well, we'll come to one of them later.
Okay.
Maybe we'll see. Anyway, I think actually this year, two of the great live albums came out. In fact, I think three did, but I don't own one of them. This is Live Rust, Neil Young and Crazy Horse. I say it's one of the great live albums. I love how rough and unrehearsed and messy Crazy Horse are. That for me is the attraction. They are totally unpolished, they are raw, and they just go for it. And you know, Neil Young is my favorite songwriter. What I like about this one is the fact that kind of it right down to the Woodstock-esque chants to stop the rain, which is kind of rocking his experience at Woodstock 10 years previously. It's just, it's basically a greatest hits compilation, but it starts with Sugar Mountain, which is a great kick-off. It's got a version of After the Gold Rush on it. It's got My Hey Hey twice. It's got, the blue and the black. I love When You Dance, I Can Really Love. That is one of my favourite Neil Young songs, and there's a great version of that on it. Needle and the Damage Done, cheerful song. And then it's just got this towards the end of it, which I'm guessing on the vinyl must be kind of like the last two sides. But you've got just this whole run. You've got Powderfinger, Cortez the Killer, Cinnamon Girl, Like a Hurricane, which is kind of like that's Neil Young's great rock slab. And then he comes back for his encore, and as an encore he does Tonight's the Night, which is, again, a Neil Young classic, because he annoyed everybody with it after Harvest, because it was so different from Harvest. And when he toured it, he was just very Neil Young and, refused to play anything anybody knew. But he engages with the audience so well. He's just brilliant live. And I just think that if you're going to listen to live albums, and I take your point about it, Jeff, and that you don't like some of them because, and I totally get that. But for me, I think that bands like this in particular, they come alive in the live setting, and or for me, better than the studio. Neil Young studio, yes. Neil Young and Crazy Horse live every time. It's a great album. Anyway, that's my second one.
Okay, that wasn't the live album I was thinking of, but I suppose
obviously. Well, I've got another
one.
two. So.
All right, okay. Oh, I haven't got a live album. Have you got a live album, Jeff?
I'm guessing not.
I'm guessing not. Okay.
Oh well, right, that's two. That's two I'm going to talk about that you haven't got then.
Yeah. I've got another band here. I'm not changing genres really though, as you may notice, because these were the albums that I was listening to at the time. You mentioned them. I think off air earlier on when I played some of their singles in the show this morning, but it is Buzzcocks, and their third album came out in September '79. That was around September '79. There were so many great albums for me anyway. This one got to number 26, not massively successful in the UK, but 163 in the US. The album was called A Different Kind of Tension. Recorded at Eden Studios in London, and Martin Rushent as producer. And like their previous album, actually maybe even the previous two albums, the first half of the album were like more the traditional 3-minute long, maybe pop punk songs. The second half then was a little bit more experimental, and the same with on this album, which sort of looked to the future for what they were going to do. Mostly Pete Shelley songs. I love Pete Shelley as a songwriter, as a pop punk. I described him this morning as lovelorn. I don't know whether you heard. No, you would have gone. I think you'd gone by in the last half hour of the show today. But the one single on the album is called "You Say You Don't Love Me," which is, I think, Pete Shelley at his most lovelorn. It was a total flop single. I don't know why, because it's him to a T. Superb stuff. But other songs on side 2, you've got I don't know what to do with myself, which is another song which I don't know. He was a bit down. He was a bit confused. He didn't know what he wanted in life. Again, I'll give you a lyric. I don't know what to do with my life. Should I give it up to make a new start? I don't know what to do with my life because the one I've got tears me apart. I can't wake up in the morning. I can't get to sleep at night. I'm not expecting things to be perfect, but a high success rate would be nice. Um, and I think it's just it's a good album. And you'd probably like the last track on the album. It's almost a punk classic, 7-minute kind of experimental punk epic, I would say, featuring all of his sort of contradicting beliefs recited over, like, I believe in Immaculate Conception, I believe in the final solution, I believe in whatever. There's just so many things recited over what can only be described as involving krautrocky influenced rhythms, and a prolonged mournful repetition of the line, there is no fun. There is no fun in the world anymore. Which goes on. I mean, it's like 2.5 minutes or so. The last bit of that.
It really must have been awful growing up in Manchester in those days, mustn't it?
It must have been. But I mean, the first half of the album is quite jolly. Even though Steve Diggle wrote 3 of the songs, they're probably 3 of my least favourites. I mean, You Say You Don't Love Me, Paradise opens the album. But on side 2, you got Money, Hollow Inside, which is just like a repetitive rhythm that's played. And I mean, there aren't many lyrics to it. I think I can quote them all the way through the song. I was hollow inside, but I couldn't find out what the reason was why I was hollow inside, hollow inside. But it's just catchy. And I think it's a masterpiece of an album, I think. And I think probably overall my favourite. Love Bites had the big hit on it, the one before. But this one, I think, just gets better with age. A different kind of tension. Buzzcocks.
Right,
Okay, bro, what we got?
Okay, so having had something which did absolutely nothing over here last time, let's go for this one. I suspect that I won't be the only person with this album. This is UK number 5, certified 6 times platinum.
Bloody hell.
Anyone want to offer?
Quite popular then. Was it a number 1? I assume it was.
No, UK number 5.
Oh yeah, you did say that. UK number 5. Have I got any UK number 5s? I think you might have to lead us in the right direction.
Okay. This is Off the Wall by Michael Jackson.
I definitely haven't got it in there.
Not by.
Now, we've had this conversation very briefly before. It only got to number 5, which means I guess to get to 6 times platinum, the public eventually must have worked out that it was good. So whether it got 6 times platinum after Thriller or as before, I guess it's after, and probably after he died as well. It's got so many awards that I gave up trying to read them and just got bored. I think it's Jackson's best album. I think it is more naive than Thriller. I think it is more old school styly than bad. It's Quincy Jones's first album with him. There's songs on it by Rod Temperton, of course, by Stevie Wonder, by Macca, by Carol Bayer Sager, by Louis Johnson, and by Jackson himself. But it's got a bit of everything. It's got Don't Stop Till You Get Enough and Working Day and Night, which are like just good disco-y funk sort of songs. It's got Off the Wall, which doesn't quite know what it is, but he's great anyway. Get on the Floor, which is a similar sort of idea. And then it's got Girlfriend and Out of My Life being the quieter, more sort of subtle side of what he does, or
Macca.
what he did.
Macca,
Well,
of course.
Macca and Jackson.
Did he write it as well?
Because like one of the things about Michael Jackson, love him or hate him, is that he had the ability to do those up-tempo disco songs and the ability to do the quieter sort of ballady sort of stuff well.
Yeah. I think I
Um,
prefer the ballady stuff myself. Like She's Out of My Life's on there, isn't it?
yeah, She's Out My Life is on
I
there.
do
Yeah,
like that one.
yeah, it's lovely. And I doubt there's anyone who doesn't know most of it, who you know of our age, of our era. And I just think it was far nice. It's a far nicer album than Thriller. Thriller's musically superb. The videos and stuff that went with it, and it's a great album, but it's just a little bit harsher. You know, it's a little bit rockier in places. It's a little bit harder in places. I just think Off the Wall is more naive. I like the word naive. It
You
works.
do. Yeah, you do like that word.
Well,
I
it's a
think
bridge
Bad's up
album,
there
isn't
as
it?
my favourite.
It's a bridge album between what Michael Jackson was and what Michael Jackson became with Thriller and Bad and the one afterwards. So I think it
Man in the
sits in the
Mirror, was that the
middle.
one after that?
I can't
No,
remember.
Dangerous,
No,
I think. After
Dangerous,
Dangerous.
yeah. But
album. Yeah.
it sits. I think it sits in the middle of them. But it is a good album. Okay,
Sorry, Colin, what were you
so
going to say, Cole?
I don't know what I was going to say. Oh, I found out actually. Right now you asked me that, I just suddenly thought of something. Yeah, I think I prefer Bad was the album. I think it's because it is rockier.
Bad's my favourite album.
I think we agree on something. There's something, Pete. Let's make a note of that.
For the diary, a moment for the diary.
That's the BBC are on the phone.
It's a,
Stinky Pete and Big C
Big
agree.
C and Sticky P agree.
No, we'll never get on air now.
No,
I found out. I didn't realise that. You know, my favourites, Gallagher and Lyle. Graham Lyle co-wrote a song on Bad as well. He must be minted from that one, I'd have thought. Anyway, that's all I was going to say. Pete, what have you got?
Well, I'm choosing one now, which I thought you might choose. Maybe you have. And that is Breakfast in America, Supertramp.
Well, I could have chosen it. I didn't actually, but yeah,
Right.
I hear you.
I've chosen it. I mean, not an awful lot to say about it. I know you and I will disagree on this. I think you think it's their best album. I
Do.
I think it's their nearly best album, but I prefer Crime of the Century. But that's really personal taste. Again, I played this through yesterday, and I just thought they're just all really good songs. You know, the obvious one, the Logical Song. I love the lyrics. I think it's a really clever song. Goodbye Stranger, I like. Breakfast in America itself is obviously, you know, the title track, and I guess with the Logical Song, one everybody knows. Take the Long Way Home, another great song. I really like Casual Conversations, which is the album closer. But again, I don't think there's a bad track on there. I think for me, it was a return to form because I loved Crime of the Century, but then following on from that, there was Crisis, What Crisis, and even in the quietest moments, I can't remember which way round they were. And again, it's Supertramp. They're both good albums, but they were not, I don't think, of the quality of Crime of the Century and Breakfast in America. And obviously it has that iconic cover, which we've talked about before with the lady who we've also talked about before, so we don't need to have that conversation again.
I think this is another classic example of why probably I don't listen to entire albums a lot of the time. Because, I mean, the tracks that you've mentioned there, but other than the last one you mentioned, Casual Conversations, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The Logical Song, Goodbye Stranger, Breakfast in America, Take the Long Way Home. Really love those, but I couldn't actually think what the other ones are. I know you've mentioned Casual Conversations, so Jeff, you Breakfast in America?
Well, it's interesting because I know those 4 songs.
Yeah.
I don't own the album. I've never heard the album all the way through, because actually those 4 songs have always just done it for me. Is It's Raining on there again?
No,
that's on.
Quietest Moments, is it? Or?
Yeah, I think it's that's on the Quietest Moments.
Yeah, but all of those songs, all of Crime of the Century stood alone for me as an album. It had got a single on it. which kind of like took the charts by storm without realising it was going to. And then the rest of it was very much the album was what it was all about. And I love it. It's a great album. But after that, in my head, they became very much a singles band. And I love all of the songs that we've just mentioned are fabulous songs that I would listen to more than happily every day.
Yeah, they're interesting.
But that's probably why I like them more, because I think they came more a singles band. I don't know, maybe. Oh, and It's Raining Again was actually on the next album from Breakfast America, which was Famous Last Words, actually.
Oh, right.
That's out of interest.
I don't have that. And the last of their albums I've got is Breakfast in America. I've got the Greatest Hits album. I've got a couple of Greatest Hits albums. But, anyway, what you got, Cole?
Me
Since
again,
we're on
right.
number 3 and we're about halfway through.
No, we've got to whiz through these, haven't we? Right, I'm not changing genre yet again. So it was such a good time for me, 1979. A lot of great albums from the bands that I loved, and it was post like really extreme shouting sort of punk, and it was like in the new wave melodic rocky sound. I'm going for the third album by the Boomtown Rats, which was The Fine Art of Surfacing. On the back of 2 number 1 singles. So this is the first album that they made having been, number 1 in the singles charts. And they still come up with a decent album, which is sometimes difficult. You have a big number 1, is to follow it up because you just want to duplicate it, don't you?
Yeah.
They certainly didn't duplicate Rat Trap or some of the other hits from A Tonic for the Troops. I Don't Like Mondays was the big number 1 single from it, of course, which we don't need to bore everyone with the details of that. Also, Diamond Smiles came out as a second single, which made number 13. Probably would have got higher when there not been a strike at the top of the pops, lighting people or something. So that would have got a bit more publicity. And then the third single was Someone's Looking at You, which was the opening track on the album. But that's all about government surveillance, basically. I mean, Diamond Smiles, the second single, did sort of follow on the sort of death theme, if you like, from the Brenda Ann, what's her name? I'm not going to give her a full name, although I could. Spencer. Betty. No, not that Spencer. The Diamond Smiles is about a debutante who killed herself by hanging from a chandelier. Such joyful subject, I know. But other songs on the album good as well. Musically diverse, the Rolling Stone said. In fact, I quote the Rolling Stone, much of the Boomtown Rats' smarmy charm comes from the elusiveness that defies categorization. It draws from dozens of sources, but embraces none. If you follow what that is, it sounds a bit pompous to me.
I think they were just filling up words.
Yes,
filling up lines.
like most journalists, I would say. But yeah, Fine Art of Surfacing I've gone for Boomtown Rats.
Okay. Shall I go for another song, another album that did absolutely nothing at all over here? Didn't chart, didn't certify anything.
We like these.
Okay. Pete, you might have this on yours. You probably haven't, but you might have. Like Bop to the Drop, it's vastly underrated. It's another good album, but it wouldn't sit in my top 20 because it's not as good as one of his other albums, which is just a lot better. We might have to go back to that conversation about the Strange Life of Plants or whatever it's called. So this is JJ Cale and 5.
Oh, that's a great album. Was that 79? I own that album. I didn't realise. Yeah,
so it's his 5th album. It's not as good as Troubadour, but it's a great album. And it's got JJK style. I love his sound. He's so laid back. He's so cool. I guess Don't Cry Sister is the best known of the stuff on it because Clapton did it later. Katie Kill Lady, which isn't on all of them, but is on the version that I've got. Sensitive Kind, Boiling Pot. They're all good JJ Cale, easy listening rock. And I don't quite know how to describe it. And actually, and I'm not taking a piss, I'm genuinely not on this one. Sometimes I will, but not on this one. It is the sort of music which could go in one ear and straight out the other anybody moan about it at all. But actually, if you do listen to it, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant.
Listen, I bought it because I thought I should have a JJ Cale album, and I've got the one he did with Clapton, The Road to Escondido, and I bought 5 because everyone said the album to get is 5, so I bought it, and I played it a few times, and it was exactly that. It was in one ear out the other. I thought, this is nice, I like it, but I don't remember any of the songs. But then I put it in the car on one occasion when I was doing a long trip.
Great driving music.
It's absolutely brilliant driving music. And then I thought, yeah, now I understand this album. And when I play it now, which is not very regularly, but when I do play it, I thoroughly enjoy it. And he's a brilliant guitarist. Fantastic.
He's of a style. He plays the style that he played.
Yes, exactly. And he doesn't vary from that.
No, he doesn't. But
I didn't realise that was a 79 album. It was a brilliant album. Okay. Well, my next one is another live album. And this is a live album which is recorded at such an iconic venue that so many of the great live albums have been recorded there. Having said that, this is not one of them.
Okay.
I've chosen it because I own it, and I felt when I was offered it by my dealer, our friend Gordon,
yes,
I felt I felt that I should buy it because he offered it to me. And of all of the albums which I'm talking about tonight, it's the only one I haven't played in preparation for this podcast, because some of it really, really is frustrating. And then other bits are great. And the album in question is Live at Budokan by Bob Dylan. Now, obviously, there's Cheap Trick live at Budokan. Deep Purple's Live in Japan is the Budokan. There's a Rainbow album at Budokan. It is the venue that people record live albums at. I mean, Cheap Trick's the famous one, but it's a really frustrating album because the sound quality for me isn't great, and
does it have to be for Dylan's voice? Let's be honest.
Well, this is the point. I think Dylan's voice is, it's not the best, and that's being kind. And it kind of gets away with it when it's on studio albums, because they kind of do whatever it is you do in a studio. But again, live and raw, it's much more difficult to do. Anyway, side 1. Mr. Tambourine Man, Shelter from the Storm. So those 2 songs straight out the gate. Side 2's got, and there's others which I don't know as well and don't like as much. Side 2's got Maggie's Farm. It's got Like a Rolling Stone, I Shall Be Released, which is one of my favourite Dylan songs. Side 3, I think, is the best one because it's got Blowing in the Wind. It's got Simple Twist of Fate, which I love. And then it's got his version of All Along the Watchtower, which I love. And then side 4's got Knocking on Heaven's Door on it, and he finishes with The Times They Are a Changing, which is what he, I think, nearly always finishes with. So I own it. It's a 1979 show. It was recorded in 1979. That's basically all there is to say about it. And all the Bob Dylan fans are now screaming at the radio, at the thing, going, "No, you barbarian, it's great." It's all right. No better than that.
I can't say I've heard it, so I can't pass comment on it. A lot of live albums are doubles or triples, I've noticed. It's not often you get a single live album, is it?
No.
No. You
There
do
are
get
a
some.
few.
There are.
Rory Gallagher live in Europe.
Rory Gallagher live in Europe is a single album.
Well, that's true.
Is
that the Irish
Frampton
tour?
Live a single?
You are.
Frampton Live's a single album as well, isn't it?
No, it's a double.
No, that's a double. Yeah.
Blimey, the last track's about 20 minutes.
I've only got it on CD. Only single.
Wings Over America is about a triple album as well.
That's a triple album, yeah.
And so's the Yes album, and so's Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and there's a lot of triples. Anyway, right, what you got?
Did the Beatles ever play the Budokan?
I've got no idea. Probably everybody did.
Do you know something, Colin? If someone had asked me that question, I'd say I've got a mate who knows the answer to that.
Know the answer to that.
And I'd ring you up and go, Carl.
Now I'm going to have to look. Did Beatles play the Budokan? Oh, the Beatles. Oh, well, is it the same? The Beatles performed 5 historic concerts at Tokyo's Nippon Budokan Hall
Nippon Budokan. Yeah,
in
that's what it is.
1966. Yeah.
Yeah, Nippon
Okay.
Budokan.
There you have it.
Anyway, there we
Right,
go.
me again, and still more rabble from me. I'll try to put a couple more that aren't so much. This was another debut album. Came out in '79, and it was on Rough Trade Records. They had a couple of singles on. They were a band from Northern Ireland.
Okay. Do they have stiff little
It's
fingers?
not the Boomtown Rats, and they did have stiff little fingers. Yeah, it's stiff little fingers. Their debut album, that's as loud and as punky as you could get, singing about the troubles over there in Northern Ireland. Their debut, it was the first independent record label album to enter the top 20 in the UK. Actually, the first 2 singles were on the album. Suspect Device was re-recorded, maybe because it was on Rigid Digits. See what they did with that label.
Very
The
good.
Stiff Little Fingers. That was on the Rigid Digits. That was one of the great independent singles for me. They re-recorded Suspect Device. Also, the second one, Alternative Ulster, is on there too. But it was it, I don't know, it helped a lot of independent labels in the future, actually, the success of this album, and maybe to just indie rock in general across the UK, whatever indie rock might be, I guess you might ask. Released at the height of the Troubles, and there was so many songs, themes including deprivation, sectarian violence, police brutality, the usual stuff. Um, Inspired by the Clash, who apparently were always singing about their lives, career opportunities was a prime example, I should say. NME called this Inflammable Material, which is the name of the album, a classic punk rock record. Fast, frantic. Jake Burns, who wrote the music to all of the songs pretty much, raging violence throughout. With a permanent sore throat. Jake Burns, he seems to have a permanent sore throat. He's really raspy voice he had. Powerful lyrics though, forceful hooks, and songs like, obviously the 2 that I mentioned, Here We Are Nowhere, No More of That, Barbed Wire Love, which is a bit of a parody of Barbara Ann, I think, at one point. Barbed Wire Love.
Oh, my love.
Yeah. White Noise, which is probably the most offensive anti-racist song ever recorded, I think. I won't quote all the lyrics to that one, but the implication being that they were Irish and they were treated like a lot of other different parts of society. But it's difficult things. Got to number 14 here in the UK, amazingly, for a independent record label. Inflammable Material, Stiff Little Fingers from Northern Ireland.
I might have to buy that. That sounds like the lyrics sound like they're right up my strasser.
Yeah, it could be a bit loud and rash and brash. We like a bit of loud and brash sometimes. I can't imagine you lying on the floor with a speaker each side of your ears, either side of your head, listening to Inflammable Material. I just can't see it.
No, I can't either. It's the sort of thing I'd probably listen to while
sitting
I was
sitting back in your granddad chair with your feet up, your slippers on, and your pipe.
No. It's the kind of thing I would play and listen to when I'd just been sitting in a queue to speak to bank customer services for 45 minutes.
Oh, listen to White Noise. It finishes with White Noise. I mean, that leads into the last track of the album. The last track of side 1, anyway. And
Jeff, what you got?
Closed Groove, sorry, one other thing, Closed Groove. We mentioned before, history is a thing of the past. Someone said that earlier. Jeff, you said that somewhere, didn't you?
I did.
And I said I might mention that in one of my albums. That was one of the lyrics.
That's in there.
Yeah, it's a very silly song at the end of Throwaway. Like, amnesia is something I try to forget, and history is a thing of the past. Blah blah blah. Right, yeah. Sorry, Jeff. You're
That's
going.
okay. I'm gonna catch up with Big Brother actually. So this is UK number 2, certified gold. Lord knows how or why, but it was. So this is Slow Train Coming by Bob Dylan.
Which I didn't choose because I've talked about it many times before.
Okay, well I have picked it because I did own it. So at the end of '79, after I left school and realised that I'd failed everything and wasn't ever going to go to university and whatever, which didn't bother me really.
Worked out well. It's worked out well for you,
Well, it
Jeff.
did okay for me. I hang about for long enough, you know. I went on and I got this job working as a sound engineer with the gospel thing, which was brilliant, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I was on tour when this was out, and it was one of those things where, because it was a secular artist who was producing Christian music, you had to love it. Like, you weren't allowed not to, really, you know. Which is all well and good, but the Dylan fans all hated it at the time. Now, I don't know what the masses think about this album. It's got some really good songs on it, some really good tunes in it, which Dylan does write some really good tunes. The fact he can't sing them, by the by. So, like, gotta serve somebody, Slow Train Itself, changed my way of thinking. That Man Gave Names to the Animals as well, which I really like. That they're good songs, and he's obviously, because he writes poetic sort of protest emotional songs anyway, for him to have found this sudden concept of Christianity from what was clearly a Jewish background, I guess it was bound to come out on an album. Is it a great album? No. Here's a controversial thing. Has Dylan ever produced a great album? No. Because actually other people do his songs better than he does. But it doesn't mean that he's not a genius and he shouldn't hold the iconic status that he holds, because he should. I don't own it anymore. That's how much I didn't bother to play it. But it's worth a mention, because actually it got to UK #2, which I'm astounded at.
Well, it got to UK #2 because You Got to Serve Somebody was got a lot of airplay. So, and it's one of those tunes that is a real earworm. It gets.
It's a good song.
I don't disagree with you. Well, but this is my favourite Dylan album, and I've got quite a few now, like 8 or 9, or 7 or 8. And where I disagree with you is, I actually think that this is his best singing performance. I think he sings much better on this album than he does on a lot, and that's one of the reasons I like it as much as I do, because it is that painful. This is a good song in here, but I wish someone else was singing it.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that at all.
Okay, right.
Do you know the album, Carl, at all? We've lost him. He's gone.
He's asleep. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Did you listen to what you just said?
Technical issues on Colin's side we're trying to resolve, so you guys can go ahead and keep going for right now if you want, while we go ahead and figure this out.
Okay.
Okay. All right, no worries. Go ahead,
Okay.
Pete.
Right. I've chosen now an album which was the theme to the first couple of years of my marriage, the theme to working at Cadbury's.
This is Monty Python, always look at the bright side of life.
No. The theme to living in Hoylake. It has got an absolute galaxy of stars on backing vocals. Don Henley, Michael McDonald, Michael and Stormy O'Martian, J.D. Souther, and it's got Eric Johnson on guitar. And it spawned a massive hit single and one other track which is massively well known by all and sundry. And it is Christopher Cross by Christopher Cross.
Now, that's on my list as well.
I absolutely love this album. It does not have a single bad track on it. Michael O'Martian is a brilliant producer, and I think that the production on this is what makes it the album it is. And it's just, Say You'll Be Mine. Really don't know anymore. Beautiful song. spinning, Never Be the Same, Poor Shirley, The Light Is On, Minstrel Gigolo, which is my other favourite track on there apart from these. But Sailing, what a great song.
Ride Like the Wind. Like.
Well, I was just going to come to Ride Like the Wind. What I didn't realise was, until I was doing the research on this, that Ride Like the Wind is dedicated to Lowell George.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't know that. So it's really, really, really interesting that you've got this song, and you go, well, okay, does it sound like Lowell George? Does it? So what is it about it which makes it dedicated to like Lowell George? I don't know. But I mean, it's just all of these. You talk about. I mean, I know I'd laugh about the fact that I like stuff that is challenging, and I like stuff that maybe is not as upbeat and everything. This is an album which just makes me happy. You drop the needle on it, and you just go, these are just great songs. You can sing with them because it's got such great backing singers. You can harmonise everything. It's just a great album. It's fantastic.
It is a great album. It's soft yacht rock.
Yeah, yacht rock.
It's
yes,
absolute pinnacle.
Yeah,
I think, and there is a place for that. I'm surprised there's a place in your life, but there is a place for it.
No, I literally bought it when I was living up in Hoylake. When it was in the charts, and it was being played all the time.
I no longer own it. I had it on cassette,
Right.
but I no longer own it. Sadly, because the cassette went as they tend to do.
Yeah.
Are you back with us, Carl? No, you're not. We can see you waving. We can see your mouth
waving, and we can see your mouth moving up and down, but we've got absolutely no volume.
we need big C subtitles. That's what we need.
We'll just keep on talking, and he can do all of his lot at the end.
Right, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Brilliant.
Well done. Well done. What did you do? Did you pull the plug out?
I don't know, and I didn't. But I mean, I just looked at I just pulled a couple of levers out of the sound card here and put it back in, and suddenly I could hear you.
It was wired by Italians.
Oh, that's probably what it was. I've missed. What have I missed? Because last I knew, it was Slow Train Coming. What happened after
that? You have missed the first one that two of us have had.
What was Stinks' next one then?
Yeah, Christopher Cross by Christopher Cross.
Christopher Cross.
Oh, Christopher Cross. Okay, and you both had it.
Which Jeff also chose. So we've eulogised about how good that album is, and it's back to you. So
okay, right, well timed then. In that case,
perfect.
I hope you didn't say anything bad about me while I was off.
No, we were suggesting you needed subtitles. It'd be great fun if you did.
Yeah, I would. I honestly don't know what happened there, but I could. It just suddenly heard a click and it was all gone. I don't know if you could see me sort of feeling. I did send you a message, but
yes, I got your message.
I didn't look at my phone, so I didn't.
Anyway, I'm going to quickly go on to one then, because we haven't got that long. Only about half an hour.
Yeah, we've got ages. We've still got half an hour. It's fine.
That's what I just said. We've got half an hour. Right, this is a number 45 UK album, and it was the second album by the band with two brilliant songwriters in there, Glenn Tilbrook and Chris Difford, and it's Squeeze, and it's Cool for Cats.
That's a great album.
Great album.
It is a good album. 4 singles on there: Goodbye Girl, Up the Junction, Cool for Cats itself, and Slap and Tickle. Cool for Cats and Up the Junction both made number 2. Goodbye Girl, I love that one. Only made it on 63, but that came out first. And I mean, they're all Chris Difford, Clint, and Glenn Tilbrook songs, apart from Hop, Skip and Jump, which was Jules Holland and Chris Difford.
Is this Jules Holland's last album?
It was Jules Holland's last album before, yeah. The next one was East Side Story, when what's his face, the guy that you saw live, Paul Carrot came in. Yeah, that's right. Slap and Tickle, the single, was inspired by Giorgio Moroder.
Really?
Yeah. Well, so Glenn Tilbrook.
I thought it was Benny Bremner and Graham Souness.
Yeah. Review, Touching Me, Touching You. I don't know what that's all about. Well, it's BBC. I'm just quoting a lyric. BBC already. I'm always touching myself when I'm thinking of you. So
yeah, I think we do know what that's about, Carl. We
It's a
definitely know what that's
definite
about.
BBC job
Can
there.
I just say here that Up the Junction is one of the greatest sets of song lyrics ever, and it's one of the greatest songs ever. I absolutely love it. It's a
It is a
great
great song, and no one really knows what it's about, do they? On the whole, it's one of those.
Well, if you're British, you do, but
I
most other
suppose
people.
you do.
But no, it's just a fantastic song. Really good.
Got some great tunes on it. I mean, I don't need to say too much. It's one track's called "It's Not Cricket," which has a lovely line on it. Tassels on Earl Watsits. I just love that line. But the squeeze call for cats from '79.
Right. What you got,
Okay.
Jeff?
I reckon that this is as close to British rock as you can get. This is a UK #9 certified gold, third studio album. The single off it was a top 10 single. The second single was top 30, and the other single was a big hit over the other side of the pond. This is Night Owl by Jerry Rafferty.
Rafferty. I thought someone might have that one.
Now this is again going to be one of those. It's not as good as City to City because it hasn't got Baker Street on it, and it's not as good as City to City because it hasn't got Baker Street on it. But it's a great album. It's pseudo pop rock, yacht rock, soft rock. Call it what you like. It's well produced. They're well written songs. They're never going to hurt anybody. They're never going to set the world alight in themselves. But they're never going to, they're never going to not be worth listening to either. So it's just one of those nice albums. And we go back to the Christopher Cross album, which you didn't hear, Colin. We said actually, it's never going to hurt anybody at all. Like you listen to it, you go, that was nice.
Is it in one ear and out the other?
Not really. It stays there.
No,
they're all tunes that you can listen to, that you could sing. They're not loud. They're not angry. They're not pappy. They're not pathetic. They're just good, middle of the road rock songs.
Well, what is yacht rock, for goodness sake?
Well, the classic yacht rock, apparently.
I mean, Christopher Cross and sailing, you'd think would be yacht rock, wouldn't you? Really?
Indeed. But what's it? England Dan John Ford and England Dan John
Ford Coley.
And
also those Daryl Hall and John Oates.
Is that yacht rock?
Some of that isn't yacht rock. Some of it, some of it is. Yeah, you're probably right, but some of it isn't.
It's not rock. I don't know about that. It's not rock.
Okay.
The problem is you could go for that, or you could can do.
Very good.
Very good. Back of the net. He shoots, he scores. Right, since we're kind of still got half to go through, I'm going to do this one very, very quickly. This was recorded on the Manor Mobile studio in County Cork and at the Workhouse in the Old Kent Road. It is the last album with the lead singer of the band, Chris Thompson, who left after the recording, and it is Angels Station by Manfred Mann's Earth Band, which has, I played this yesterday, every track on it is very good, because pretty well everything Manfred Mann's Earth Band ever did is very good. Don't Kill It, Carol is the starting track, which is a cracker. But the two that everybody knows, I think, are You Angel You, which was the hit single, and Angels at My Gate. So, two angels on Angel Station. And that's all I need to say on the subject.
On the road, not on it?
No, that's on Watch, which is the previous one.
Oh,
that's a great song. Love that one. Right, come on then. 1979, Status Quo. Let's go for it. Whatever you want.
Still,
for me, you do that. One of the greatest opening riffs ever. just leading up to that as well. The sort of well, not just that, but just like the intro into that as well with the
absolutely.
recorded in Holland. I think it's like for tax purposes, probably. And the single
I think they just
made
wanted a
number.
flat
I
sound.
was going to say, is tax purposes the code for drugs?
Could be. Well, you say that, but yeah, one of the tracks. Well, Whatever You Want, obviously, was a hit. Number 4, that was Rick Parfitt, Andy Bound, the keyboardist, co-wrote that song. And the album made number 3. And their other hit single from it was "Living on an Island," which was basically Rick Parfitt, who had a tax year on the island of Jersey, so he was
Yes,
stuck
I
over
remember the
there.
story. Yeah.
Stuck over there, yeah, and yeah, he's getting bored, and the song's basically about isolation, friendship, partying, and drugs. So yeah, when he's singing "I Get High" after at the end of every verse, I think we know what he's talking about. But there's some. Parfit did quite a lot because he co-wrote that one as well. "Shady Lady," "Who Asked You," both Rossi and Lancaster songs. Side 2, a bit like the Buzzcocks, maybe. The side 2 often was a little bit more heavy and going a different direction. I know we know what the direction is with Status Quo. It's not going to change a great deal.
They could put the
But
3 chords in the opposite direction, though, couldn't they?
yeah, maybe. Rick Parfitt, I saw interviewed once. He said, "Look, we do know a fourth one, to be honest, and people forget that." But yeah, I won't bore you about the details of it all. But yeah, obviously, I'm going to include Whatever You Want, Status Quo. There you have it. Next.
Right, what you got, Jeff?
I've got another UK one that did nothing over here. Certificated nothing over here, and consequently, it will be in my top 30 albums, if not in my top 20. This is "Morning Dance" by Spyro Gyro, which it is a great album. It is absolute 1970s, 1980s fusion soft jazz at its foremost. But you'd like it, Colin.
Fusion. I'm going to do it, Jeff.
No, you would. You've played Morning Dance for me.
Morning Dance, though. So Morning Dance
know.
itself was the single, got to
I
number
bet I wouldn't
17
like
in
too
the
much
UK.
of the other stuff, though.
You would, because it's stuff which it's left music.
It's
very good.
It's sax-led smooth jazz, basically.
It's like good Kenny G.
Yeah, Kenny G is a damn good saxophonist.
He is, but you know,
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But yes, there's nothing not to like about it. I'm afraid the tunes work. It's not all weird underneath. It's just good sax-led soft jazz.
Well done.
There you go.
We should all have to listen to all of our 10 albums each, I think, at some point.
That'll be a laugh.
That will be a great laugh. Okay.
Yeah, I might commit suicide halfway through Rust live, but there we go.
Then you won't. You'll commit suicide during live at the Budokan, I can assure you. Anyway, right. Right, my next one is just a great pop rock punk album of in-your-face songs.
What?
And it's only one song over 5 minutes, and that's the closer. It's "Remote Control" by the Tubes. And
not punk then.
I didn't say punk. I said pop rock punk.
So you did say punk.
It's obviously a song about TV, hence "Remote Control."
They have that in 1979.
Yeah, of course it is. Well, it did in America. Over here, we were still getting up and turning over the 2 channels. Anyway, turn me on.
Winding the clock.
TV is king.
Yeah.
Prime Time, which was the single.
I know that one. I know that one.
I want it all now. No Way Out, which is a great song. The song called Get Overture, which is, I think the weakest on the album. One of my favourite tracks is called No Mercy. And there's a great line in it, which is, "On the shop floor, they give you no mercy." So it's basically about working in a factory and being a blue-collar worker. Only the Strong Survive. Be Mine Tonight. The final track, which is the long one, it's 5 minutes and a couple of seconds, is called Tellyside, which is a jolly ditty about suicide, which everybody should listen to, because it's one of those things that cheers you up. Anyway, so "Remote Control" by the Tubes, great album, love it to bits, play it all the time.
Right, okay. Remote Control, good link there, because Remote Control was the name of this band's second single from their first album. I'm sure someone would have London Calling in there as an album,
I haven't, but
I have.
because I thought you would.
because we have mentioned it a number of times. It is.
Well,
It
I've
is
only
like
got it
it's
because I had to make up the numbers.
a fair
Well, I don't
dues.
own it, so I don't know
It's
it.
one of those ones that, like Sergeant Pepper, I always say. I've said this before. I'll say it again. Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band by the Beatles is a Beatles album that's liked by people that don't really like the Beatles. They're not really big Beatles fans. And I would say the same about London Calling, The Clash. It's an album that people will say they like the album, and they do like the album, but they don't appreciate the other stuff. You see what I mean? It's full of different varieties of genres, as we've discussed at many length. The scars and the rockabillys and the rock and the lounge music, the pop. It's got everything on there, and yeah, I don't think I need to say anything else. It only got number 9 over here in the UK, number 27 in the US, and although it's sold at the cost of a single album, they insisted, as if the Clash could insist, that it was only a single price album. And I think it is another one of those double albums that could have been it could have been a brilliant album
Yeah,
as a
as a
single.
single. Yeah,
If you have sides 1 and 2, stick with them. Add on like Wrong and Boyo, Death or Glory, maybe Train in Vain at the end, and perhaps Four Horsemen to make up maybe an 7 or 8 on each side would have been perfect album. But London Calling I've gone for. Very late it was. People always think it's a 1980 album, but it was actually very early.
December,
So very
wasn't it?
late, 79. Probably
Yeah,
in the States it was released in 1980, but I'm going for London Calling anyway. Had to.
So this is my last
Jeff,
one in
what
that
you got?
case because I went for London Calling as well.
Okay.
So this is my last one. This is UK number 15, certified gold, and their 7th studio album. And I like it because it is enough of the old-fashioned style of this band, together with the way that the band was going because of one of its members, which was also good, but there was still enough of both sides of it to be worth listening to. Anyone want to give an answer?
Doobie Brothers.
No.
What year was it again, Jeff?
It'd be 1979, yeah. Okay, so this is Midnight Magic by the Commodores.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, I saw this was this year.
So this has got Getting It and Midnight Magic itself, which is a great track, and Sexy Lady, all of which are still that old sort of Commodores, slightly funky disco-y sort of feel. And it's got the Lionel Richie stuff of Sail and Still on it.
They
Sail
are. Right, okay. So long
and Still on it. And it's a well put together album. And is it brilliant? No. Is it worth owning? Probably not. But it's okay, and it's got some good tunes on it, and it's worth a listen to or a dance to when you've got nothing else to listen to or dance to. You know, it's a Commodores album.
And it made your top 9.
Well, it made my top. It made my top 9.5. I've got 2
No.
shout outs, only just for a giggle, really, but at some stage. So yeah,
Come on to that one, yeah.
that's me.
Pete, you've got
Okay.
another. Go on then.
So if you haven't got any more, then basically Colin and I've got a couple. I've got 3 left to
Yeah.
do. But I'll go through this one. Right. So this one, UK top 10, number 42 in the US. It's the fastest moving album in the US and UK at the same time. So in other words, from entering the charts and then going to where it went quicker than any other album. And it is one of the top 10 live albums of all time. It is Strangers in the Night by UFO.
It's what?
Strangers in the Night by UFO. It sold more than Live and Dangerous, which obviously, as we all know, is not a proper live album. It's Michael Schenker's last album for the band until the 90s. It's live in Chicago, basically, but on the CD bonus tracks on the CD I've got, which you've got bonus tracks, which were both recorded in Shaggy's home state, Youngstown and Cleveland, Ohio. It's just literally all of UFO's great hard rock songs. And what I love about this album is, I mean, they're all brilliant musicians. Pete Way is one of the great bass guitarists, and like all rock fans go, or sorry, all rock bass guitarists go that Pete Way is one of their one of the people that they kind of learned from, you know, one of the people they admire. But also Phil Mogg's got a great voice, and I love the way that he kind of references the weird things about America in the 70s, like not understanding the drinking laws when they're all in their early 20s and you can't get a beer. And then when they do Lights Out, which is my favourite UFO track, he does Lights Out. It's Lights Out for London, but he does Lights Out for Chicago. So he kind of makes it very much about the place that they're doing it. But it's Only You Can Rock Me, Doctor Doctor, Lights Out, Rock Bottom, Too Hot to Handle, Shoot Shoot, all their massive songs, just done brilliantly. It is a great, great live album, and anybody that likes live music, it will be in their top 10, 100%. It's that good. So there we go.
Was Live at Budokan Cheap Trick? That wasn't 79. I haven't got it on my list here, but I was wondering.
No, it wasn't. It was I think it was 78, wasn't
earlier.
it? It was
Yeah,
around
maybe
about
it was
that time.
earlier. All right. Okay, let's swiftly move on then. I've got a non-new wave one for you. Fifth album on Swan Song. No, it's not them. And one of the band members was Billy Bremner. No, not that Billy Bremner. The other band members being Terry Williams and Nick Lowe, and of course Dave Edmunds. It was his fifth solo album. It was Repeat When Necessary in June '79. Got to number 39 in the UK, 54 in the US. Almost catching us up there with one on my list here. Self-produced by Dave Edmunds, of course, and of course Rockpile. I've mentioned them all. Their highlights being Girls Talk, the Elvis Costello tune, which was a number 4 hit for him. His second biggest hit, I think, after I Hear You Knocking. And I always quote this lyric whenever they get their chance with Girls Talk of Elvis Costello, when he said, "The word up on everyone's lipstick that you're dedicated. You may not be an old-fashioned girl, but you're going to get dated."
Get dated. Yeah, great line.
It's a great lyric. There's Graham Parker's song, Calling from the Wreckage on there, another single. Queen of Hearts, another single. They're all covers, actually, but Billy Bremner did write a few. Creature from the Black Lagoon, Sweet Little Lisa was an old Albert. He's got Albert Lee on guitar on that one. Goodbye, Mr. Nice Guy, and We Were Both Wrong, both Billy Bremner tunes. And Bad is Bad is another one, which is a Huey Lewis tune. And in fact, he's on harmonica on the album. So Repeat When Necessary, Dave Edmunds. That means I've only got one left.
And I've got 2 left. So if I do one now, and then I'm going to swap the order around, and I'll talk about this one, and then just throw the other one at the end. Okay, this album it's a massive seller, and it's got some good tracks on it, but for me, it is hugely overrated for the band in question, and it is The Wall by Flink Poyd. It's notable for Gerald Scarfe's illustrations, which were obviously used in the video that went with Another Brick in the Wall. And it's also notable for the wall that was on stage during the tour, and how they took the wall down as the songs progressed, which was all very clever and all the rest of it. It's got a few good songs, and it's got one great one. It's mostly a Roger Waters vehicle, and for me that's never a good thing. The final cut was awful, and that was a Waters song. I am not a Roger Waters fan for many reasons, which I won't bore you with, some of them political.
Does speak very highly of you, though.
I don't give a shit.
You got to clip that one, Shaggy.
Another Brick in the Wall, which is the single and instantly recognisable and a great song. Comfortably Numb is a 5-star, brilliant song. It wins greatest guitar solo in the history of the world ever, always. And it is the set closer for every Floyd live thing after The Wall was written. It's not the encore piece, but it was always the set closer. And then it's also got Hey You on it and Run Like Hell, which are also both great songs. But actually, the rest of the album is a bit meh, and I do not understand why it has the status that it has in the pantheon of absolutely brilliant Pink Floyd albums. It ain't one of them for me. So there we go.
Is it because of the big hit single from it, maybe?
Well, yeah, of course.
Did they sell out and become a pop band?
No, they didn't. Even if they had, it would have probably been better. No, it's just things like The Division Bell is a great album. Yeah, but that was 10, 12, 13 years later. I think they lost their way. But anyway, so The Wall, Pink Floyd.
Yeah, I must admit, it's a double album again. Another one that surely would be better as a single album.
But the problem is that I agree. I agree with you. I agree with you. But if you're going to write a concept album, which is what it is, it's difficult to do a concept album in one album. It's the same as the argument with the Genesis album, isn't it? The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. That would be better as a single album, but you couldn't tell the story if it was a single album, and it suffers I think the Lamb Lies Down on Broadway and The Wall are very, very similar in that they've got some good songs on and some stuff which is frankly not all that great, and they were a vehicle for one individual, Waters in this case, and Gabriel in the other.
Would you say Sgt. Pepper was a concept album?
Maybe, I don't know.
Well, it was meant to be, I suppose. It meant to be like this fictitious band, and
yeah, sure.
There's a link between the songs and stuff. I just wondered because you could get them. I mean, Desperado, maybe technically
that was supposed to be, but
it didn't sort of ended up being as a concept album. Okay, right. One more. I'll do a Jeff here. I'll just throw this one in to make the numbers up. Although there's loads I could mention, and I'm just going to throw because I think we mentioned them either before we came on air or on air earlier on. And it's Sham 69.
Hurry up, Harry.
Hurry up, Harry. Come on.
Sadly, not on this album, but September 79 it came out. It was their most successful album. Got to number 8 in the UK. A little bit more accessible, which means that Stinks won't like it because it's not got shouting and stuff. Well, there's a little bit on there as well, as you can imagine, with Jimmy Percy. Mostly their songs, Dave Parsons and Jimmy Percy. Money, Fly Dark Angel is quite a softer-ish song. And they do a great cover of was it Yardbirds or was it Manfred Mann? What You're a Better Man Than I. Mr. You're a Better Man Than I. Do you know the song I mean?
Well, I think
real slow.
I don't think it was Manfred Mann.
Slow. I think Mike Hugg wrote it. Wasn't he in Manfred Mann? Oh,
He
whatever.
was. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, possibly. Joey's on the Street Again. It's a real rocker. And of course the single Hersham Boys. The boys from Hersham. Laced up boots and cowboy and laced up boots and corduroys, isn't it? The lyrics of that. And there's this real country cowboy-ish solo in the middle. I really love that. And yeah, another single on there, Questions and Answers. The album was just called The Adventures of Hersham Boys, and that is what I've gone for. Which leaves you, Pete, with your last throw.
My favourite punk band. Right. So I've talked about Manifesto before.
Roxy.
I also, at great length, I also own The Long Run by the Eagles, which is a bit meh. I don't own In Through the Outdoor, which was Led Zeppelin's last proper album. So I but I don't own it, so it's the one I don't own, so I haven't included it. What I have included is Azure Door by Renaissance, which is, well, I mean, all their albums are very, very good of their ilk, and either you like that stuff or you don't. And I've got pretty well everything they ever did up until this album. Well, I have got everything they ever did up until this album. Produced and engineered by David Henschel, Annie Aslam on vocals, great voice, John Tout on piano, Terry Sullivan on drums, John Camp on his Dick Knight custom bass and his Ovation 12-string, and Mick Dunford on his acoustic 12 strings and classical, an Ovation classical, which I didn't know they did. Anyway, and it's 8 or no, is it 10 songs, 9 songs? Can't remember. But a beautiful song called Only Angels Have Wings. Forever Changing. My favourite track on the album is called Kalinda, which has got a bracket after it about the Magic Island or something or other, and then Friends. So it's classic Renaissance. And if you like Renaissance, it's great. If you don't, then you don't want to listen to it. And that's it.
But you don't like Friends, I do.
No, it stinks the bloody place out. Ugh.
Oh, I
So, so we can't leave 1979 without
Without.
mentioning the Great Rock and Roll Swindle.
We could not mention it, but you're mentioning it. That's fine.
Well, because it's got Who Killed Bambi on it, and like
Who Killed
it's worth
Bambi?
having. I mean, I don't own it, but it will be worth having just for that.
Oh, I do. A friggin' and the rigging.
Friggin' in the Viking, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
We'll get that on BBC.
No, well, it's an album which, I mean, I don't own it, but like it's the other Sex Pistols album, isn't it? So like it's, you know.
Yeah, it is. Well, it went out as a Sex Pistols. It's more of a Malcolm McLaren compilation, really, wasn't it, for the film? But yeah, I mean, Sid Vicious did sing a couple of songs on there, which were singles, weren't they? Something Else and Come On, Everybody.
Well, yeah.
But yeah,
I'm not recommending it. I mean, I love Who Killed Bambi. I think it's a great song, but you know,
I was looking at maybe going to see the Sex Pistols are playing the Hammersmith Apollo. In
which
December.
ones?
Well, there's the three original Glenn
Really?
Matlock, Glenn Matlock, Steve Jones, and Paul Cook. But Frank Carter, I think it is, doing the vocals. And apparently
Not
they're
Frank
very good.
Ifield.
Not Frank Ifield because he's dead,
Or Get Cut.
and not Johnny Rotten because sadly he isn't dead, as Stinks would say.
He's a twat.
But yeah, I was thinking about going. I think it's on the 20th of December at the Hammersmith Apollo. I'll ask him Big Al.
Subject of going, I need you to tell me when Rory Gallagher's guys are playing in Chelmsford because I want
I'll
to
find
go.
out. Let me chuck you one more, just because this, if that's okay, just to throw away.
Yeah,
That this goes hand in hand with Slow Train Coming, because when I was doing all that tour stuff, this came out, and because of who it is and what it is, it was the greatest album ever produced, and it isn't, but it isn't awful, and that's Rock and Roll Juvenile by Cliff Richard, which has got We Don't Talk Anymore and Daddy's Home, I think, on it. I can't remember now. And it's one of those albums where it's Cliff probably at his best of that nature. It's like once he got over being a brilliant rock and roll star as a youth, he's, you know, and got over his I'm not very good at anything stage.
3 Cliff Richard songs that I could possibly have played tomorrow in the show. One was Move It, because I think that was released in '58, which is a classic rock and roll single, and many would argue he should have left it there. To be fair, but also
Summer Holiday.
Summer Holiday. Yeah, true. That's not bad. No, these are more recent songs like Wide for Sound, and Some People was a nice song as well.
That is a nice song.
So it could be that
She Doesn't Live Here Anymore.
Harry Don't Live Here Anymore.
That's on this album. That's the other one. That's on this album.
She doesn't live here anymore because she's busy murdering people in a dance hall.
And I've got the Great Rock and Roll Swindle written down on my long list here, as with the Skids album, Scared to Dance, which I couldn't have time to mention. Armed Forces was another album. Elvis Costello was a good one.
Yeah.
Now, quickly, Neil's given me a few to read out, which he thinks should get a mention. One is Breakfast in America, Supertramp. Armed Forces, coincidentally, Elvis Costello. The Specials and their debut album, which was a good one. Three Imaginary Boys by The Cure. Communique by Dire Straits. UFO and Strangers in the Night. Japan and Quiet Life. Call for Cats, Squeeze. Night Owl, Jerry Rafferty, Setting Suns by The Jam. We've covered a few of those, haven't we?
Yeah.
We have. Well done.
We have indeed. And yeah, my long list of other songs, which no one can actually see, but I've got a load more there.
Now,
But we
see
haven't
that?
got
That's what my A levels look like.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I picked up, I put it on eBay, your answer sheet for your A-level sheet here. Look. That is a blank piece of paper for those not
Absolutely.
watching YouTube or not watching on Twitter or Facebook. Right, that's it for 79. A good year, I think. Good year.
Yeah. Better
For
than I
albums,
thought it was going to be when I
albums
started
and
looking.
singles. Yeah, albums and singles. Next week, I believe you want a quick no prep one, Stinks, don't you?
Yeah,
So
I'm not back until
work
late
something
Tuesday
out.
night. So,
We'll work
yeah.
something out. Jeff's probably got another tooth appointment, dentist
I don't know
appointment.
when that is. I've got one more to go.
One more to go. All right. Well, okay, we'll be back. That's the end of today's anyway. Thanks, guys, as usual. And that's the end of the podcast. It will be posted to the usual places over the coming days by Shaggy, Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple, on iTunes. I think they're on iTunes as well, actually. Get them on iTunes. But, well, the BBC, they have been involved a little bit, haven't they?
They were involved very early tonight.
We went early with the BBC.
With Pete's breasts.
We've mentioned Cliff Richard a few times as well, but I'm sure that was nothing. The BBC were on. They were on the hand on the receiver ready.
Well, we've had Michael Jackson tonight as well. I mean,
It's true, we have, and
We're
we had
living on the edge.
paedophiles. We had paedophile heads of state, which of course we're not likely to get.
Yes,
And
not
I
anyone
believe
to-
that you were caught playing with yourself or something, weren't you? Every time something happened.
That wasn't me particularly.
So
That
all
was,
in
I
all,
forget who it was.
all in
Yeah,
all,
all
it's
in all.
another prick in the wall. Anyway,
Yeah,
right.
yes, very good. So all I got left to say is it's a good night for me.
It's a good night from him.